This is the Bennington Show end of the summer party. Sorry, guys. It's back to school for all of us. We'll see you back here again next June on Raw Talk 99.
We love spending our summers with you.
I guess that's what they're doing over on that Carolina station right now.
I know, yeah.
We've got to roll this up. I've enjoyed them all year, too.
Yeah, them, and then does also Yacht Rock end in the summer?
I believe it does. Yeah, they put the yacht in storage. But can I just tell you this? Soul Town is here 4 seasons of the year. Soul Town. That's my favorite right now. I'll get Soul Town on and I'll leave it on for 22 straight hours. Know every song, and they never repeat a song.
That's awesome.
Yeah, at the 23rd hour, like, I think I heard that yesterday sometime.
No, you didn't.
Vito, what's your favorite Sirius XM station right now?
Right now, maybe the Pop 2K brings me back to my childhood.
Is that right?
Pop 2K.
Pop 2K brings me back to my
So
childhood.
that's all the early out hits?
All the early out hits.
Zip right by that.
Oh, no. You're missing those great boy band songs.
No, I'm not missing them. Just because I'm not hearing them doesn't mean I'm missing them. Now, today is Street Jokes at 2 o'clock. Anthony Cumia, Aaron Berg, Sam Roberts, and Adam Ferrara all compete against each other in Street Jokes. And we have a couple of major pop-ins.
Yeah. Some guest stars stopping by, which felt very much like a classy late night TV moment where you're like, ooh, this is sophisticated. We do know some funny people.
This was fun for me. I didn't see them before or after, and I had no idea that they would be doing pop-ins. So they just walked up, did their shit, left. It was like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Like a gunslinger comes up, shoots a bad guy, tips his hat to you, and rides off.
Come back!
And then all next week, perfect song.
Yeah, perfect song.
And your chance to win prizes all next week.
Prizes signed by Aerosmith, Pixies, Rufus Wainwright, and the Spin Doctors.
Nice.
Phenomenal.
Big prizes.
Every single day. Well, Monday through Thursday.
And we had so much fun.
Outside of Monday.
We don't have to specify. And we had so much fun putting these together. We got into some really great conversations with some of the funniest people.
Love these people. And everybody on our show, and these are all comedians, but also obsessed with music like us.
Yes. That all of these people are either in comedy or comedy in some way, shape, or form. But it's like they all can just talk music forever.
First of all the people on our show, maybe not so much Chris, though, obsessed with music, but all different kind of music, but everybody's passionate about it. Like, we started this show today going, what's the perfect last song of the summer?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Chris goes like this: White Stripes.
Oh, Chris again.
Yeah, I just thought you just fit
It's
that
the
in.
same thing every time. That's why
just
we know
a
you don't like
band
music.
name.
Just a band that you knew during fucking college. That's it.
You never grew, dude.
No, man, you never fucking grew. And Vita goes like this: my mom likes Springsteen, and I like my mom. Pop 2K. Everybody, pop music. Actually, one of the days of this, Mateo Lane and Lisa Traeger, who didn't show, we get into that exact late 90s, early aughts.
Yes, that's kind of Mateo's wheelhouse.
The TRL era.
Yeah, the TRL era of music.
Sorry, it's a good point. When did TRL begin?
1999.
Really? That late, huh?
I believe so.
And then it didn't end until like 2007, something like that?
2008 was the last year. It was 98 to 2008.
98, so it had a 10-year run.
And it was a time where the teeny bopper was king. It just felt
that's
like...
happened several times over the course of world history.
Yeah.
Obviously, the early 60s is teeny bopper. The early 50s is teeny bopper.
Yeah.
And the 40s was I mean, if you look at Frank Sinatra, they called those girls the Bobby Soxers because they wore those little socks. And they were children that Frank was singing to and having sex with.
Oh, my God.
And they said Frank Sinatra had an enormous hog.
Really?
Frightening hog. They also said the only person with a bigger dick than him, Dean Martin.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I would have thought Dean was bigger, and there you go.
Dean Martin's dick sounded like this. Boo, 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 boo.
Where's that coming from? I mean, it sounds muffled, like it's almost like it's behind a fan.
One boy, oh, one girl. Hi, everybody. I'm Dean Martin's penis. Oh, these are my balls right here. His balls were like feet for him. The size of Vito's shoes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Large.
Yes, your feet are large. Now, so that's all coming up later today. But I kind of feel like we might have picked, we almost did Warmth of the Sun, because it should be sadder when it's the last day.
Yes.
You know?
I picked, We've Been Having Fun All Summer Long.
Yeah.
Because there is like a sadness to it. Like there's just like that sad, like, oh, we had so much fun and now it's just shit again.
But you know what's funny is like the best beginning of summer song is a heartbreaking song, See You in September. That's the end of school, and you're like, all right, I'll see you, but I know over the summer some guy's going to bone you at the beach.
Yeah, you're going to find the boys of summer.
Yeah. And I'll be here like a fucking idiot working in my dad's gas station. Then you always like feel bad for people like, I can't go away, I'm working at my dad's shop. He needs me. I'm not a pussy, my dad needs me.
Look at who's been lugging boxes all summer.
Fucking, I hate to say, I wish I could say some kind of homophobic slur there. Because it fits more than it does for homosexuals. Anyway, that's Perfect Song all next week. And we've got a Twitter contest set up how you can win. But even though we're away next week, we're doing all original programming.
Yes.
100% original programming and clips. Why? I guess love.
It's love for you.
Love that you don't get from the other radio shows.
No, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
Not the way we do.
Sway is out next week, and he just left a record player and a microphone. He goes, here, make up your own fucking show. That's fucking great. You just let that roll for a week. Everybody be talking about it. It's like, oh, what's going on with them? Format switch?
Why do girls love that falsetto so much? Like, that is always like the teeny bopper sound. And that's like not new. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That, the...
Talk like a man, talk like a man.
And I think even in
sing
opera...
like a little girl.
Even in opera, like, I think the Sopranos were always, like, the pretty boys, and...
Vito was a big fan of the Sopranos. His favorite was Little Steven. Hey, Little Steven's here. You going back to the E Street Band later? Little Steven?
My favorite Little Steven thing on The Sopranos was that he always did, for the first season, he just did an impression of Al Pacino. Every time he was on screen, he would just go, once I get out, they pull me back in. And his character just did that constantly. Like Tony would say, could you do the impression again? And that's all he did season one.
I don't remember that at all.
He used to do it, but I didn't realize that was season one. I just thought that was like a reoccurring joke later.
It was all season one.
But
Don't remember that.
They would just be like, do it. And he's like, they pull me back in. Everyone's like, he did it.
That was the year that I cut my fingers off with a hatchet, so I don't remember a lot that
Thanks
year.
for bringing it up.
Yeah. Vito.
Yeah, Vito.
Fuck.
Vito, now you're staying in town, right? But your big brother's partner is going to Paris. So what are you going to do about Big Brothers?
I'm either going to do it solo or I'm going to try to find a guest host for the week.
Fucking guess.
Do you mean a famous Big Brother alumni?
That's what the goal is. But
I can't wait for Chris to miss that.
I can't guarantee it, but that's the goal.
Don't get Frank.
I would love to get somebody like Frank or Dr. Will the week you're out so you wouldn't embarrass me in front of them.
Entertainment Weekly has done that. I guess you guys will be doing that in Big Brothers, right?
Yes.
So we'll just give everybody a peek. You know, they picked the best of this. I guess they had the readers pick this.
Yeah.
Now, were you guys part of that?
No, I did not see the poll go up before the final numbers came out.
I saw this the other night. In the middle of the night, I'm awake and I saw it. I'm like, I'm sending this to the Big Brothers.
Big Brothers are going to love
show
this.
prep. But obviously, Dr. Will won number one.
Yes.
Good.
Neither one of you guys has a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that. He truly is the best.
He invented the game.
Number two is Derek.
It was Derek, yeah.
That I have a problem with.
Really? 'Cause
You don't like Derek?
I thought that he competes with Dr. Will as far as being. First of all, they were both the only two that never won, like had a house or any of that, and did it on purpose. What's your problem with Derek?
I believe his season was too weak, and that he got lucky by winning. It was pure luck.
He didn't get lucky. He controlled the whole season from behind the scenes.
And the reason why the season was weak is because he was running it.
But I think the house itself, or the rest of his contestants, were fucking stupid people. I know he did well.
But they appeared stupid because he's playing so great.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's like the same way with Paul. I mean, we're going, why aren't they like pushing back? It's just like, well, he's winning the game right now.
Yeah.
But who was his best friend in the season?
His was Cody, Paulie's brother.
Do you remember when Cody was sitting there and having no idea what anyone was talking about?
Yeah.
And this is his best friend in the fucking game. And he's like, what? I thought I did that. And he was being really serious.
Wow.
He goes, I ran that thing, and the other fucking house guests were laughing at him.
Oh, my God.
Who would you put as number two?
I would put either Evil Dick or Dan Giesling.
You got to pick.
Dan Giesling. Number two is Dan Giesling.
I don't know if I put Dan Giesling in my top five. I despise him.
I love Dan Giesling. I think the funeral tactic was crazy.
Idiotic.
I don't love him, because he won and he came in second. And he should have really won that second time, except for the house. Like he shouldn't win again.
I put Boogie ahead of Dan Giesling.
I don't know. I don't give Boogie.
Boogie was Will's.
Boogie's good, but he's not.
I don't give Boogie shit. You know what I say to him if he fucking said, "Hey, would you vote for me?" I go, "Put on your boogie shoes."
Is that
Boogie
big yes?
finished very high, though. You were correct. Boogie was top. I think it was foul.
Yeah, he wasn't even supposed to come back for the season he won too. Dr. Will said he wouldn't come back for All Stars unless they let Boogie come back.
And then he basically gave it to him.
Yeah,
I put Boogie above Dan Giesling, though.
Yeah.
I can't, just because like even Dan's first season, he was just, everybody in the house hated him, and that the roulette game. What was it, nomination roulette, where he like said, you guys can nominate yourselves, and then took himself away from the drama and had everybody else fighting, and then he just like walked away from. I'm
going to steal Chris's line and say stupid fucking house. I always felt like the people around him were stupid. But he's stupid. He's like a dude bro. Fuck it. No wonder Chris likes him.
Oh, yeah. He does like dude bros.
He's number five.
Number five is Evil Dick.
I would have picked Danielle. His sister. Or the dolphin guy.
Dolphin Crash?
Yeah, Dolphin Crash.
Wait, who was Dolphin Crash?
He was the guy that they beat out. He was in the top three with them.
Guy was a moron.
And when he thought he was going to beat Evil Dick, he kept talking about, I'm going to raise a lot of money at Dolphin Crash. Fucking moron.
Evil Dick doesn't deserve, I think he deserves to be respected but the respect he gets is a little tampered by America's player, the guy who chose him to win the game. And
yeah.
Did you ever hear the thing about Evil Dick had someone when he got a note from home? It had like fucking it
was coded.
It was coded to say who he shouldn't trust in the house, and then from that point on, the producers don't let anyone actually get the letter. They have to type it out themselves.
Well, Dick thinks Paul got a coded letter because Paul got a letter that referenced all of his animals. Like he actually has all these animals by name, but the way the animals were described, Dick claims that and some people on Reddit claim were hints to people in the house. Like, oh, he still looks beautiful. She still looks beautiful, but you can't trust her. And that was about one of the girls in the house. like that was about Jessica.
That's fucking genius.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Smart.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to say like that kind of stuff is all part of it. You know, like sometimes people get on Paul for that stuff, but it's like, if you figured out to do that, or if Evil Dick figured out to do that, I think that's kind of great.
If I was in that house, I'd have a phone with me. Be like, hello?
Was that like...
Oh, Vito's saying stuff about me? All right, then I'm going to hide his watch.
You're saying Vito the person or power of Vito? It's so confusing.
Don't trust Vito. All right, I don't want to eat up your whole thing.
Yeah,
But I was glad to see the person that came in last was your shitty season that you guys fucking did last year.
Who was the OTT one?
I'm down with OTT.
Yeah, you know me.
That was Morgan.
I think that's the only year I didn't watch.
But what's I'm really annoyed is the one before the next to last is a baller.
Yeah, he's not going to be. They're never going to put him. People hated PP9.
I don't.
People hated that
I love
season.
A Baller.
But great. The drug thing really fucked him up. That's
So
why people
what?
talk.
That's
I don't.
Look, a guy fucking got $500,000, then took it and bought OxyContin and tried to sell it, make more money. That's Philly.
That's investment.
Everybody knows me. Everybody in Atlantic City knows me. Everybody on the shore knows me. All right, everybody knows me. He's a baller, a baller. You know, I'm a baller out there. I go to Cherry Hill, they know me. Okay, all the Phillies know me. All the Eagles know me. Sixers know me. Some of the Flyers know me, not all the Flyers. But everybody knows me. I'm a baller. I'm going to use this money and get ourselves some Johns. All right? We fucking Mudo Johns. I thought it was heroic that he tried to turn his goddamn money into a fortune. You know? Through the world of OxyContin.
It was just smart. I think him and another player from that season both got busted in the same scam.
Was it last season, not OTT, but last real season, when they did the thing where they were like, hey, why don't we split the money? And then production had to be like, no, you cannot. Like, you can't do that.
I'm sure people bumped other people money, though, over the years.
Yeah, why not?
I guarantee you.
The only, like, you're not allowed to buy, you're not allowed to give anybody money. You have to, like, hide it through gifts. Like, Dick gave Danielle a car, but he had to, like, go through loopholes. You're not allowed to directly give anybody money.
It's your daughter. They can't stop you from buying your daughter a car. He stabs himself in the neck. She gets the money immediately.
That's
Plus,
ridiculous.
I found out that that's not so much his daughter as his wife.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's a fucking Meg White situation.
So that's how it is in their family.
I heard that from A Baller. Everybody knows me, man. Everybody down Ashbury knows me. Down the shore knows me. Everybody in Atlantic City knows me.
Everybody?
Rose. I hope no ice comes through this water and hits our boat.
I wish I had someone to share this water with on this boat. Rose! You changed my mind.
He doesn't even try to do a girl voice.
That's the best part. You changed my mind.
Coming up at 2 o'clock today, you don't want to miss this. It's Street Joker, Street Jokes coming up at 2 o'clock today. You make sure you didn't put the warm-up in, right? The pre-warm-up?
That is not in.
You tightened up the end?
Everything is tightened up.
Do
nice.
the tighten up. I want this show to sound like Archie Bell and the Drells. We do the tighten up. Tighten up now. What? You guys going to really try lyrics? Or you going to just say tighten up over and over?
We just think that was enough.
We're Archie Bells and the Drells from Houston, Texas. We not only sing, we dance as good as we want to. We do a little thing called a tighten up. Tighten up now. Tighten up now. All right, that's enough. We're just going to keep tightening up for fucking next 15 minutes. Gee, is there anything on your mind today?
Yes. I was wondering what you guys would say is your most out there belief. So these are beliefs that you're like, maybe you're not even like, would be comfortable always to admit it.
I will admit mine. I will admit mine is that creativity flows through the universe and is caught by human people.
So that collective unconscious is creative energy, kind of.
I will only say the collective unconscious because there's not a better phrase for it, but I think it's even outside of that. I think whatever created reality, there's all these things that are ready to come into the game. All this, and I don't mean like, oh, we have no choice in life. We do.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're grabbing. But I've talked to too many creative people not to believe in that.
Now, as an out there idea, have you ever been in a circumstance where you describe that to someone, like, this is what I think, and you see them go like, oh, I didn't think that would be something you think. Like, do you think that sometimes people could be like...
Not at all. Matter of fact, every single person I've discussed it with, like, I wouldn't sit down and say to my mom, I think there's some kind of collective consciousness.
Right.
But when I'm talking
people.
to writers and directors, and some of them have used the exact same metaphors as me, and some have used only small changes or similar metaphors. But it's also something I wouldn't even talk about.
Yeah, because I think that's the interesting thing is I think that most people have at least a couple ideas that are like not so much private, but you're like, I'm aware that most people are not going to jive with this. Like there's certain things that you're going, I don't want to sound nuts, but this is kind of something I believe.
Well, here's the reason why I say this. It doesn't change anything. There's a reason to this reality as it is, and you have to live in this reality. But the more I read about DMT and that kind of stuff, those things come up almost exact.
Right.
Those kind of things. All right, I'm going to give you one more because I want to hear everybody else's. But one thing that I loved, I heard Terrence McKenna. Is that his name? Terrence McKenna, the guy who did the DMT stuff. And he had this theory that we were, whatever we were, apes at the time or whatever. And we were eating magic mushrooms and things like that and started to dream, right? And we started to dream and realizing, that there's some of the thing, and we started to have knowing it back and forth between each other, and that eventually becomes language and consciousness and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's really bizarre.
But before that, we were just animals, like everybody else.
Man, I love that theory. That's really interesting.
I know, I love it
because
too.
that dreams could have been the spark of being human, that idea of like creating something.
We created our own soul.
Yeah,
we created our own soul through these hallucinogens because we learned to imagine. We were open to creativity, and all right, this will be the last thing. I'll let you go on to everybody else. But the initial thing that they believe they're not even humans yet. There's something pre-human.
Right.
Their initial phrase that they had was, dude, tighten up. We tighten up now. The fact that tied in with the song so many years after.
Weird.
Okay, go
really,
because I don't want to hog this.
All right, so I'm going to go to Jen. What would you say is kind of your most out there idea that most people might not believe, but it's something that you
Is
believe?
it that Trinidad's a country?
I think it could stand alone against Tobago.
Oh, I'm like a strong believer in the zodiac, astrology.
Ooh.
Yeah, my mom and my parents both are like really into it too.
What about stuff like tarot cards and?
No, I haven't got into that.
Yeah,
my mom
but
is
astrology.
Like, astrology is like.
How about numerology?
No.
Yeah, I feel like you could go farther, but I would agree. Like, if you are into astrology and then you meet someone who's not, it's always like they're like, that doesn't make sense. You're like, I just find it so interesting. It's hard to like talk your way out of that.
I think astrology is bullshit, and so do other Capricorns. So it's really yeah, it's just a Capricorn thing.
That is so. But you are such a Capricorn. That's
I know I am. This is embarrassing. I like everybody whose birthday is the same as mine.
Yay, birthday buddy!
Yeah, just like, all right, there he is. He's doing great.
Isn't that funny when you'll say something like, somebody says, oh, your birthday's in December, and then they're like, oh, what day? And then you say it, and they're like, oh, that's my sister. And then you have the moment where you're like, oh my God. And they're like, what are we excited about? Yay! Oh my God.
That's
Me and your sister should be friends.
It's like when I met you and your birthday's same as my dad, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
We were
Dad's
like,
so much
yeah.
She's like a father to you.
And you know what? She says all the time that I'm such a Reggie. She says it. You're like, you remind me so much of Reggie. Two
Why, 'cause
Libras.
you like her sister more than her?
That's probably the main one.
Yeah.
I give her so much money and let her get away with everything. Vito, what would you say is your most out there?
I think superstitions are real, and what you believe actually matters, because I think when you have a superstition and something goes against it, you're putting a negative energy out that's actually causing the thing that you don't want to happen.
So what's the superstition that you have?
So like I had a superstition for years that like I had a foam finger that I brought with me to every Mets game, and I would hide it in my bag until they were down. And then I'd take it out, and I'm not lying to you, it worked constantly when I'd come back. And I'm convinced that when you don't like...
What if you went to every game? Would they win 162?
I mean, they might have, because we had a really good run that season. Yeah. They weren't a great team. But then other superstitions, like if you don't... Like some people who like have to like knock a door a certain amount of times or something bad will happen. I think by them not knocking the door, they're going to put a negative energy out. So
it's the belief, your own belief.
Well, here's what I believe along that. If you watch baseball, because it's a great thing to bring up, they have these things that they do, and it kind of keeps you in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they do their little things, they're like, okay, I'm paying attention. So you're not sleepwalking through life. Now, some people will turn that into an OCD, a superstition.
Right.
They're all kind of the same thing, but anything that wakes you up is probably not a bad thing.
And also, like you said, like I think also when you give something power,
right?
You know what I mean? If you give it weight to yourself, you've given it power, you've given it a name, now it's a thing, and that's coming from your own.
And
energy.
if you read the Joseph Campbell stuff, he believes in that these type of things, whether it's astrology or like, okay, you have to put images on things that you don't quite understand.
Yeah.
One of those things is like, okay, could be Jesus, could be the saints, you know what I mean? But you don't quite know where to put it, but you know that it's true. So you give it a name, you give it an image.
Right.
And he would say by paying attention to the zodiac, you are paying attention to your decision making. You're saying, you know, ooh, here's something for me to watch out for.
Exactly. Now, I also have been into astrology, and like that's also the way I think. Also, like you said, your parents were into it. My mom was into that stuff, and so I have the same thing with tarot. That my mom reads tarot, and so I learned to read tarot through her. But really what it is I honestly believe, not that it's like some divine thing that's coming to me, but these are answers that are within your own energy, and you're figuring out a way to channel it. And I know this too because I started doing pendulum work, which my mom also did years ago. And I was seeking answers for something and was finding complete stalemate and stillness in something that I was like, this stopped an answer because I literally don't have the answer. Like I knew that the answer was not within myself. It was still like a mystery of the world when this thing was going to happen, or if it was going to happen, or is it happening now? I knew that like, oh, I don't have the answer within myself. You know what I mean? So it's almost like just ways to channel stuff that you already know.
Yeah, I know. Ouija board, even though it's the kid's toy. Last time I ever played with one was 2000. And I was playing around with it. And you know what came up? 9/11.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Weird.
So I kind of predicted 9/11.
The answer was within you.
Yeah.
You knew it. What about you, Justin?
Here comes the Cree Nation.
Well, yeah, there's in the Cree world we believe in like a type of magic, and it was kind of along the lines of what Vito was talking about, and like superstitions. Like my great grandfather used to hunt on an empty stomach, and because he would come back the majority of the time, he'd actually have a kill. And there's all kinds of other things like shamans and ceremonies where like magic would be performed. My mother's seen a lot of these things, and like. No, we're actually not supposed to talk about it.
Okay. All right.
This is so cool. I 100% believe whatever he's saying.
Yeah.
First of all, I've always loved the idea. Well, I saw him cracking for a minute. I'm like, oh, this is really personal to him. And then he realized I'm telling white people.
Like a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm broadcasting to white people.
But when you look back at any of the ancient people, and because I think this is something when we get through the theory of everything that we're going to know this is that different ancient people might be like, oh, we saw a bunch of fucking birds flying the wrong way, so we got to change this thing. I think that these things are more connected in the physical world when you wake yourself up to it. I know, like, if I think of something or if I learn a new word, why is it that I hear that word 5 fucking times? Right? It's because that word has been around and I've been ignoring it.
Right. And I just tuned in. Yeah.
I think the real shaman stuff is to say, this stuff is always magic.
Yeah.
But I got to go through all this, you know what I mean? To make you understand that magic exists.
Yeah. 100%. I believe that. Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that people are like, I'm so moved because I saw the moon and sit in front of the sun. I'm so moved. That fucking moon is up there every night. That sun is up there every night, and you're ignoring it. You know what I mean? But you can look at the sun and the moon all the time.
And that's enough to like really give me chills. Is like it's the same sun and the same moon that any living thing has ever looked up at,
ever seen.
Like that gives me chills. Like that anytime any ancient poetry that describes the moon or the sun, you're looking at the same thing. Like that's unified within us as earthlings.
And waves haven't changed. Like waves have been coming in to the beach all the time. And that affects us. That same water that's moving around. And what do we have? Water in our bodies. There's water surrounding us all the time. Is there information changing in that water?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who are like, even American people who are like, it's the rocks under the water that carry this information. You see the river runs through it. It ends with him talking about the water running over the rocks. And the fact that that's silicon, right? And then what are we transferring fucking computer information from? Those same things. A natural a natural thing powers the information. Get the fuck out of here. All right, now it's about to get stupid. Here comes old 7-11.
Sasquatch.
I believe in Jinxes.
Sasquatch.
I'll tell you this, though. I was in Northern California when I was a kid, and we were just like riding down this river, like White River rafting and stuff. And I looked up and I'm like, something could be up there. There's a lot of fucking woods.
There's nothing but.
I'm like, we ought to get out of these fucking woods too, as quick as we can. What do you got, Chris?
Well, yeah, I also believe 100% in jinxes. That's 100% real. If you talk about something, it's not going to happen. It's going to get fucked up.
That's why you don't like to take a compliment?
I don't take a compliment. That's why I didn't tell you guys I was dating someone for like 5 weeks. Because if I talk about, hey, I met this girl I liked, something would have fucked up. So, and it would have just fucking blown
I
up.
thought that you were embarrassed because she was Costa Rican.
I'm not embarrassed
and you're
of her
racist.
nationality.
Yeah, but I meant, she's not 100% American like us. And the Yanks are coming, the Yanks are coming.
It's like the opposite of The Secret. If someone is putting like positive thoughts out there, no. Just put no thoughts about it out there.
Well, I tried to talk to Chris about The Secret, and his secret was he was touched when he was a boy. He goes, I've been keeping it.
Chris, you're playing this wrong. You're never going to be a success with that.
I've been keeping it a secret. So you believe in jinxes and what else?
Also alternate realities or like string theory, where there's multiple different, anything could be happening at any time.
Now, do you think that there's a different Chris Stanley that the world has worked out for?
Yes.
I sometimes think about that since I've heard about multiple verses, I'm like, I wonder why I was stuck in this reality. You know, there's so many others.
Well, I can get like really weird if I start to think about like kind of butterfly effect things, like the small choices if you could pick an insignificant choice that you made in your life that then led you to make a move, take a job, do a thing, and if you hadn't, you wouldn't
It's
have.
infinite.
It's so weird, and I have a couple weird ones in my life that I keep going back to. Not necessarily did I do the wrong thing, but just like there was a fork in the path and I made a choice. And like, what was that world that I turned away from?
And some people believe that that's there.
And I feel like there's a reason that my mind goes back to these like 2 or 3 different things. And I feel like there might be something there that I don't know. I don't know if something went on and changed and I'm on this path and there was like another path, but it's not something that tortures me. It's just like, why would I just keep thinking?
Isn't there a movie like that too? Like a Subway, a woman, I think it's Apple's mom, and she runs up and
Gwenny.
the Subway door closes and one of her makes it through and the other one doesn't. And
then like
that's
it's a different
two completely realities.
Right.
Whether she's inside that Subway or if she's not.
because it's the difference of meeting people and people.
But here's like, you look at that one little thing like it's important to you, but just think every ancestor had to make an infinite amount of little things for you even to be born. And if the Terminator was smart at all, he would have went back 100 years and killed somebody. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's
like
all
he
you
didn't
really...
need to kill the mom. He could have killed the great grandmother. Who gives a fuck? It's all changed.
And she's definitely not going to expect it.
No, she ain't going to see it coming, and she doesn't know how to fight a Terminator.
I know.
She
She's
doesn't
not
have
as
a gun.
She's not as ripped.
Sarah Connor's unbelievable shape and really fucking hot.
I know. And like, she's like one of those things where she's like Iggy Pop ripped, where like she has no fat on her body. So it's just like muscle on top of bone.
Yeah, I call that the knotted rope. It looks like somebody just knotted up a fucking rope. Knotted rope. Hashtag. Is that how that works? I say hashtag after.
Would you?
Would people viral it?
Would you call Vito a knotted rope?
I would call.
You're that kind of body type.
Well, I would say that Vito is kind of knotted pudding.
That sounds good.
Like pudding skins, lumps in it.
That's not a
You're
nice.
tapioca.
Never really
I
wanted to
love
be tapioca.
I
But
love tapioca though.
all right, that's nice. Then
I haven't had it in forever, and I've always loved it.
I fucking love tapioca.
Well, I don't even know where to get it.
And you're right. It doesn't come up a lot. Why?
No.
Why are we waiting for tapioca to come to us?
I don't know anybody.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if there's a place to buy it.
I'm going to start using The Secret just to get myself some tapioca.
Don't, it won't work.
Why was that?
Because his secret is don't want the thing. I'll just walk around just not thinking about tapioca. That's what I've been doing for years.
Tapioca's pretty good, but I think rice pudding sucks terribly.
I like
get the
rice
two
pudding.
mixed up.
You don't have to, Chris. There's no test. Just take your time. Your old boyfriend, Eastside Dave, said
These
this.
were great.
He says he said this. There's no such thing as a 5-star restaurant that doesn't have rice pudding. And I go, I don't know how old you are.
That's so
But
not
it's hard to even find rice pudding. I mean, most of the people who knew how to make it are dead.
So he considers all diners?
And he said, yes, he said because he worked in a 5-star restaurant in a big hotel in New Jersey, and he was told by the chef that that's true. But
Not in this day and age.
he got 5 Jersey stars. to his.
It's very different.
Yeah.
It's a different ranking
It's a
system.
different world. All right, coming up at 2:00 today, Street Jokes. Please enjoy that and have fun. But next week, your chance to win on the Bennington Show as we play Perfect Song. Here are our guests: Chris Gethard, Tom Sharpling, Sam Morrell, Joe Mackey, Bridget Everett, Dan from the Dan Band, Mateo Lane, and Lisa Traeger.
Nice.
This
So
was
much fun.
This was some of the most fun we've ever had.
We had a blast doing these, and every one of these shows is so different. Like all the conversations, each one of these people are kind of have a different taste setting. So it's just like it was a blast.
Which person do you think had the best taste in music? Because I have mine.
I'm going to go with Tom Sharpling.
Yeah, it's not even close. I'm really surprised, but some of our singers have terrible. And I've never heard of some of the bands.
It's true.
And they have great voices and they're great singers.
Yeah.
And they're like, who? Who are you talking about right now? I'm like, really? You've never heard of them? And they're all like, my favorite band, Kansas. Okay. Each its own. Each his fucking own. This is the thing, Matteo Lane and Lisa Traeger, and I don't know whether they've taken care of it, but this haunts me. They're like, I'm the biggest Bette Midler fan. I love Bette Midler. Neither one of them had seen the Rose.
I know.
They hadn't seen the fucking Rose.
And the Rose is amazing.
But they did have one thing in common. They had a fire down below. Hashtag the Rose. Hashtag.
Use both hashtags. Please.
Hashtag waffle. Hashtag. Seasons of Weather. Tell everybody what they can win next week.
Prize is signed by Aerosmith,
Prizes.
Pixies, Rufus Wainwright, and the Spin Doctors.
Which one of those would you want to win?
Pixies.
I'm going to say, and I love everybody there, I think Aerosmith, because I don't think they're going to live as long. I think I'm going to have more of a chance to get Pixies. Yeah. Vito, what about for you?
I really like Two Princes, so I'd go Spin Doctors.
I'm more of a Little Miss Ken, be wrong.
Little Miss, Little Miss, Little Miss.
That's a fine song, but nothing. I mean, there might be not any song as good as Two Princes. It doesn't even make sense. Go ahead now. If I was in that band, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Is what you're doing could be I got so much confidence. I'll sing this way for no reason. All right, let's take a break here. Coming up in a little bit on this last show of our summer, because we're going to be gone next week, but leaving you with a lot of lovely, lovely new material. 2:00 today. Street jokes. This is Bennington. Bennington Show. Street jokes coming up in just a little bit. You know what I think best joke of all time is?
What?
Hope this rain keeps up.
Why?
Then it won't come down. You know, ladies and gentlemen, everybody needs a weird uncle.
So, up on the iBang, there is a story about the new dating term called stashing. Now, this is like coming after. You remember there was ghosting?
Ghosting meant you break up and you never have anything. So let
There's
me
like
try.
an official breakup.
Not official. You just don't tell that person goodbye.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite.
They're a ghost.
If you guys need that air down, just help yourself. You both look freezing cold.
Oh, no, I just lean forward.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You cold?
I'm
Jen?
fine. I'm good.
Just turn it down. I'm fine with it. But I always worry about, because the air doesn't hit me and Chris. But if you're sitting right where Jen is, the air is blasting. Maybe what I should do is just move my chair over there.
I know.
I don't think it's ever too cold for me.
I know.
Yeah.
Chris definitely should be in the guest seat where you're getting full.
Chris should be in the unemployment office.
Oh, God.
All right, so stashing. Let me try to guess, okay?
Yes, guess the stash.
Now, do you know what it means, Chris?
I know what it means.
Okay. Is stashing where you keep a piece of ace that nobody knows about? You've stashed her to the side?
No, that is a good guess, though.
Because I think younger guys like to stash a piece of ace that you know you can call on.
Yeah.
She might not be the kind of girl some men think of as pretty. But to my heart, she carries the key. But you know what I mean? Like that dependable piece.
Right.
And I'm sure girls have a dependable guy. They're like,
sure.
I got a fucking wedding. I'll call this guy.
Most guys are pretty dependable for that stuff.
That's good. That's true. All right. We're sitting right next to fucking a stashed victim right here. Our own Vito. No, that's wrong.
No, but that does sound like it could be.
Vito, do you know what this is for real?
No, I don't know what it is. I'm going to guess it is a friend zone type situation.
It is not quite a friend zone situation. It is not quite that. Now I'm interested because to me,
All right, now I got another one.
okay.
Is it a mustache ride? I went stashing on his face.
Holy shit! I wish that was a dating term.
Yeah.
You know, I like him, but he's really been stashing me lately.
I just like him for stashing. I don't want that dick, but I'll take that stash.
I mean, yeah, sure. I got a couple of stashes on the side. You know what I mean? Anytime I need a nice stashing.
Well, you know, they used to call Vito a mustache Pete when he first came into this country. All right, so now, do you know, Jen?
I don't know what stashing
So
is.
you take a guess now.
What do you think stashing is? If I said this guy's been stashing me.
Keeping me away from his friends?
You've pretty much got it. You have nailed stashing. So stashing is you've been dating someone for a little bit. Things are progressing. You're like, this is serious. We're not just dating now. We're together.
Right.
This is a full-time thing. However, you are not meeting their friends. You are not meeting their family. And you are not showing up on their social media.
I love it. I want to be stashed by everybody.
Yeah, that's the kind of interesting thing is there are pros and cons to a stashing.
The pro is you never meet a great family. There's no such thing. Meeting your chick's family is the fucking worst.
Now, when I heard this term, the first thing I thought of was Chris Stanley. He stashed his broad for like a good 5 months until we had to pull it out of him.
He stashed his other girl for 9 years.
Yeah, I stashed her hardcore, yeah.
We never met. We never, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, not only does he stash women, he stashes his other show. He doesn't bring them in. He doesn't plug. The head of his guest network came to me and goes, is there a reason that Chris can't get plugs for his show on your show? I go, absolutely not. He's always free to plug.
It's a stash situation.
Chris, he's saying he wants you to plug. And Chris is like, yeah, I will. Definitely going to. He hasn't plugged one time since.
So that's the same situation as what you do to ladies.
He doesn't like his worlds to cross.
I also was accused. I didn't know this was called stashing, but do you remember the girl, Mr. Big? I dated early in the year for like a month.
Yes, I remember Mr. Big.
She was like, "Why haven't I met any of your friends? Why haven't you posted about me on Instagram?" Well, first of all, I don't have an Instagram, and second of all, lady, you work late at night, and we just come and have sex in my house,
dude.
Yeah,
we would have loved to meet that fucking crazy.
You know
pussy.
that I wanted.
That would have been fun though for the air.
Everyone would have enjoyed
we would have had
it.
a blast.
I don't trust that woman. She's fucking nuts.
So what?
But here's the thing. Okay, fine. There's maybe certain people are not the type of woman you bring home, but certainly you are currently dating a lovely lady.
He did introduce us. That's big for him.
Yeah. And early on,
But
it
it
was
was
only
pride.
like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but it was pride out of you.
That's okay.
It was pride out.
I'm getting better.
It's a stash scenario.
No, look, not that you're wrong, but he's definitely right that he's getting better. Now, why won't you ever plug your other show or bring those guys back?
In the fall, I will get better at stash.
This
Better
is-
at not stashing.
This is what Ralph said to me.
Yeah.
Ralph Sutton. He goes, I don't get it. It's probably my funniest show, my least listened to. And I'm like, I'm sure people would love to listen. He won't plug.
Well, that's nice that he thinks it's the funniest. That's
And you got to see his other shows. I mean, it's not that much of a compliment. It's like saying you're the funniest act at a bar fucking place in Brooklyn.
I'll take that compliment, though.
So stashing to me, stash me, please.
You would
Don't
like to be
introduce-
stashed.
I don't want to meet your fucking family because I know your family's a nightmare from what you told me.
I mean, I certainly think some people go with the reveal way too quickly. Some people unstash people too quickly. Like, they're like, I met a girl. She's great. I want everyone to meet her. And you're like, how long have you guys been saying? Well, I met her last weekend. You're like,
All right.
we could wait maybe
Now,
to see how we feel.
In all your dating life, you ever ask me, did I ever say to people, what is your future? What are your plans?
Never.
What do you hope to do in your career?
Never.
You know why?
Why?
Because I know how terrible it is to meet people's families. So I pay very little attention. I put very little pressure. And because of that, I'll put me up in the top percentile
Yes.
of people to meet. Because I don't think it's my business to do that, but mainly because I remember being a fucking kid and having a guy say, what is your expectations or what are your plans with my daughter? I'm like, dude, you don't even know my plans with your daughter. I mean, if you do, you're a sick fuck.
That's none of your beeswax. You're not gonna like my answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, my boyfriend had said about meeting you that it was like one of the best circumstances because it's always like a tense thing. It's always difficult to meet someone's family, and like not only do you not do the like, what are your plans and what's going on and how long have you guys known each other? You didn't even particularly go like, what do you do for a living? Like,
I know
you
people
didn't put
don't like
pressure.
that. And
He was
also,
like-
that's not representative of who a person is.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
So
he does have a cool job, but that's not.
It's
who
not,
he is.
yeah. And instead, you got to know him by like hanging out with him and making jokes
Right.
and laughing and having a good time the way you would like to meet a person,
Right.
which is very enjoyable. But yeah, it normally is. Now, I mean, my situation, I was stashed much longer. He was unstashed way early.
Now, is he embarrassed of you or his family?
I think it was a worlds colliding situation that he was
Stanley.
like, let me put off. And he's not a social media person. So that's off the table completely. But the family situation was not so much embarrassed of either of us, but just like, let's wait as long as possible for these two worlds to become one until you guys start working together. A force that could be against me somehow.
Look, I'm used to my mother and father. I could never expect another person to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Just be like,
You're
you're going to love them.
You're going to love them, and then they're going to blow up for no fucking apparent reason. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put up with family, right? And whoever Vito meets introduces his mom to, your mom's a character.
Yeah.
She knows she's a character. You know she's a character. It might be difficult for some fucking pleasant person to understand that.
It's been I've had girlfriends who were not really getting it, like, not that they didn't get along with my mom, but it was like a lot to handle where it's like,
sure,
because my mom also, like, she wants to be a part of my life and that person's life too.
Yes.
So she'll be like, do you want to get lunch sometime? And the person's like, I don't want to get lunch with your mom. Like, it's a weird thing to go get lunch with your mom. And I'm like,
It's
dude,
also weird not to be asked to go to lunch with your mom.
She just,
some people are like,
yeah.
your mom never asked me to lunch.
And-
Not even once.
and my mom has that thing where
What's the problem?
she's looking for like a daughter type person. So she just likes
Yeah.
going out for like a younger girl, like going out with a younger girl. It's fun for her.
And cruising
Yeah.
cruising guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
Look at the balls on that one. Stuff the ladies do.
Right.
You know, Jen.
Jen, what about your family? Do you stash people?
No. I like am comfortable with Reg and Patty meeting someone, and like I don't really care to meet someone's family, but I do care about social media. If I'm not on that Facebook, Instagram, if I'm not on one of those social, I don't have a picture. We're not official.
See, I knew that one was going to be the one that got you.
See, that
You're
is so
like,
interesting
I'm
to me.
gonna stash.
Because I wouldn't want to be on someone's Facebook. I don't even want to be on our Facebook.
Yeah.
Do we have a Facebook?
Yes.
Take me off of it.
My boyfriend is stashed by his choosing. Like, I have social media and I respect the fact that he doesn't have it. So I'm not just going to put pictures of him on mine because that's like now he has it and he has already
Look at
chosen.
you. Your brother stashes us from his life.
Yes.
All of us, I'm sure he's
Everyone's
fucking...
stashed.
Yeah.
He's stashed us all.
He is Chris Stanley in his thing of, is like, hey, who'd you do?
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Don't worry about it.
But he does
taking
not give or ask for information. You just have to treat him like he's CIA. He's like this. I'm going to be out of the country for a while. All right?
Like, what are you doing?
I can't be reached. So, yeah, but you know what? The way to make people feel comfortable is you be comfortable with them.
Yeah.
You know, Jen demanding to be in the social media.
Yeah.
Let's
She's
face
like,
it.
she has to be in.
She has set herself up for 20 bad relationships.
But it is weird the way social media and relationships, like the way it is changing and how many new rules and like the terminology, like ghosting has to also do with social media.
Yes.
It's like cutting somebody off completely. There was haunting was another term that they came up with. It's just like social media stalking, but it's like you've kind of come to the thing where you're like, hey, it seems like we're not going to be a couple anymore. We tried it out. It didn't work. But then that person is liking all your photos, commenting on your photos, and like they're haunting you.
All right, let me ask you this. If they were just looking and not commenting, that's fine, right?
Yeah, because certainly for something like Instagram, it's like you're putting it out there. But by liking it and commenting, it's just like, just so you know, I'm still here. I'm still responding to your life. I'm still involved. It's not like, it's like saying we broke up, but I don't need to block you. You know what I mean? I don't need to I don't hate you.
Right.
But I've made the thing like, hey, I drew a line.
But it is like, this is something that's changed completely. Like, it used to be if you broke up with someone and you rode past their house, you were a nut. We could all agree. Right. You're a nut for doing that. But if you look at their Facebook, you're not a nut. You're just curious. Right. You know what I mean? And you're not blocked, so you have every right to. But it still seems like you certainly wouldn't want to know. Like, you wouldn't want to know, hey, I noticed that you've been to my site 50 times this past week.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And look, at one point, it looked like you were watching for an hour, just sitting there from 2 o'clock in the morning to 3. It comes off like you were drinking and listening to music.
One of my favorite things was, this is very kind of early smartphone, like people were mostly had like Blackberries and shit, and it was certainly no apps on your smartphone situation. And a friend of mine was kind of out drinking, thinking about an ex-girlfriend. We're all together. Sure. He's thinking about her. He goes to search for her in his Facebook. He hits the wrong button. It's not the search bar. He has literally just created a post with his ex-girlfriend from high school's name on it. And he goes to be like, what the fuck have I just done? I'm like, you just yelled her name out into the internet for no reason, just her full name. And he cannot delete it from his phone. He can't, there's no,
he had to get back to the computer?
Very early. Yeah, there's no app, so it's not meant to be used this way yet. And he was like, I have to leave this party. I have to get home to my computer so I can delete that I have just said my ex-girlfriend's name.
You wasted too much talking about it. You should have been on a
we were like, run, go now. You look like a crazy person.
It's like on Instagram, if you ever, as somebody's been like, what's your ex-girlfriend look like? And you show them, and as they're looking at the phone, you're just like, don't fucking press any buttons.
Yeah.
I don't want them to get a like.
Chris, you ever go look at your ex?
No, she's not on social media, which is great.
What about you, Vito?
The second we broke up, I deleted everything about her from my life because I never wanted to look back. And I deleted all of her.
Really broke your heart.
I deleted all of her friends off my Facebook. I deleted her off my Facebook.
Oh man, you're one of those.
Yeah, I just don't want to look back. I don't want to get caught up in being getting messages and I don't. Once I break up with somebody, I never want to talk to them again.
Healthy.
That's also hard. Do you know that I was just reading a thing that said it's a dangerous situation to keep an ex as a friend. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing because you don't know if they're a sociopath and they're just waiting for the right moment again.
That's interesting.
You don't know if they're plotting against you. There's enough evidence to act like some people plot.
I definitely don't have any exes as friends that I would say I text them, I call them, I meet them for drinks. But I do have exes that I am cordial to. Like if we are at a same social event, hey, it's good to see you. What's going on with your life?
As years go by, that gets easier and better.
Exactly. But I don't text him or I don't call him. You know what I mean? Those communications are only for once every 2 years or a year.
And you wouldn't go like something.
No, I would.
Would you give him a like?
I would give him a like.
That's a problem.
I have given a like to something that, but I don't like a picture of him and his girlfriend. I mean, that would be kind of bizarre. That's too far the other direction.
If there's a picture of him going off a diving board and you're like, give him that a like.
Like it. It's very good.
Do you know somebody, their family is mad because an in-law didn't give a like to a picture that everybody else gave a like to.
Really?
And I go like this. That seems like you're making up something crazy. You're getting mad at her. Maybe she didn't say or whatever. It was like a picture of their mom or on her birthday. She didn't give it a like, the daughter-in-law. And they go, no, you don't understand. She gives everything a like.
She
She likes. And I go, I can't believe I'm in this insane conversation.
she'd love if she could.
Yeah. Holy shit, we could make a lot of money if we just had a love key.
I know a dude who got pissed at people because he posted an engagement photo to Facebook, and he started getting pissed at anyone who was his follower who didn't like the fucking thing.
Oh my God.
Guy's a
Come
fucking
on.
ass.
That's really insane.
And he had like a photographer stage like in the bushes as he like went to go fucking propose. That alone, I think, is fucking insane.
I saw this. One guy did this. He takes this fucking, his chick, I don't know, next to a waterfall or something, like 10 miles after a hike. She doesn't know that there's a stalking photographer.
Yeah.
And then he presents her later with all the pictures. And they're like, oh, look at this. I had no idea. I'm like, oh.
That's creepy.
Oh.
It's a stalker. Now, there is one more dating term that involves social media that I'm going to call my favorite because I think it's the most creative one. It's called Gatsbying. What do you think Gatsbying is?
I'm going to say Gatsbying is when you throw a party, he goes in the other room.
Gatsbying is about like party vibes, but Gatsbying is you are putting things up on your social media. Here's me at a party. Here's me at the beach with my friends. Here, but it's really for one person. You're making your life seem more fun because you're like, I like this dude. I want him to see me having fun with my cute friends. Like, want to make sure he sees these likes. So you are living a life of fun, but only for the view of one person.
See, I
Much
think-
like Gatsby throwing a party to impress one woman while everyone else is like drinking on his bill.
Now, the thing about Gatsby is, too, like, I think a lot of women would do that after a breakup. Like, I'm going to show him
Right.
my life is fucking great without him, which in a lot of ways it's kind of sick. It's not well anyway, because you're still obsessed with this other person and you're trying to hurt him or sting him. And if you're doing that, it still means that you're connected.
Right. Like, it's much worse if the one person you're doing it for is someone in your past who you want to bring bad feelings for.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about it as a courting thing where it's like, I have a fun life?
I would say to myself, well, you look like you need too much attention. You know what I mean? I need myself a next door girl. You know what I mean? I want a girl that can say, you know what, we will stay in tonight. I'll pop the corn.
You don't want to see a girl who's just like on a boat with her friends. Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm like,
so many water sports. I can't keep up with that.
But I would be thinking that she needs a lot of maintenance.
Do you think, Jen, now as a girl, if you thought a guy was Gatsbying you, would you like it or dislike it?
Knowing that he's intentionally putting pictures up to make his life seem more interesting, that's a little lame.
Now, have you been in the circumstance when you're like going through a guy you kind of have a crush on, and you're like, look at his fun life, and look at all his cool friends.
Yeah. Like that definitely happens. But I also do the Gatsby, I guess. I never realized.
Yes.
it.
I would have
Your
pegged you
social
for a
media is a
Gatsby.
Gatsby. And I'm not saying you're posing, but you are posturing.
But sometimes it hasn't worked in my favor where like he's like, you know, I guess maybe high maintenance, or it's just like he wants someone more quiet. And I'm like, why are you not going to be a part of this life? This is a great life.
You look, because it looks expensive. It looks like an expensive life.
Maybe the smart thing to Gatsby a guy would just look really low maintenance. It's just like pictures of you like watching Netflix.
It would be, and then you got your local team's fucking jersey on, and you're eating wings.
Just at a dive bar.
Yeah, this fucking
interesting.
broad is great.
I guarantee a girl has taken that exact thing. Because I think whenever I see one of those girls who are like in a baseball cap and full makeup with a team's jersey, I'm just like, who you trying to impress?
No, she loves the Mets.
Bitch, I know what you're doing. Who's the man who loves that team? You don't fucking like football. Stop it.
I talked to this girl that I knew years ago, and she's like, we are in a car club. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, we love old cars. I'm like, I know you. You don't. But you're still acting like you like classic cars and going way to car weekends. She's like, car people are the best. I go, you're fucking, everything that you're saying is made up.
Cannot be true.
Yeah.
That cannot be true.
But women do that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
They immediately adapt to whatever that dude is doing. And then he's dumb enough to think that she likes it. So then when they get married, and he's like, I don't believe you don't want to be in the car club anymore. You love the car club.
So we bonded over.
We spend the whole weekend looking at cars. We all park our cars, we put the hoods up, and it's fun.
Now,
No,
I
it's
will
terrible.
say, I watch Eagles games with my boyfriend, and I want them to win because I want him to be happy. But, like, you don't see me run around, like, in an Eagles jersey, just being like, that's my team now.
I mean, but you do cheer for them.
I do, yeah. Because I want them to win for him. I want him to feel joy.
It's sad.
I just want him to be
It's sad
happy.
that it brings him joy.
I know.
It's a sad thing about being a fan of something.
It really is. It really is.
I got to stop watching this fucking Hard Knocks because now I'm getting to know the Bucs. I'm like, man, I hope those guys get everything they wanted to do. They worked so hard this year. I do it every year.
Doug Martin's on, right? Even though he's getting a 3-game suspension. He's the running back.
I didn't know he was getting a 3-game suspension.
I didn't know either until like 2 days ago.
What was that for?
I think it's either weed or or it's a substance. It's
Dude,
violating.
man, weed is nature. You know?
It's from the earth.
Yeah. My God wanted us to have weed, man.
Put it on the earth for us to smoke it.
Yeah. You gotta smoke that shit, Smokey.
That's natural.
Oh, you got any more of those fun things?
More fun terms. I think I think I've covered the waterfront with social media.
Hey, Jen has a topic she wants to throw at us.
Okay, so my first job was working at Carvel, an ice cream place, when I was 15. And so I was like, really waiting for my first paycheck. And it was because I went to the store, like the hair store with my dad. And I was.
You mean a hair store,
It's really
barber?
dumb. I mean, I had
She means a hair store
to get a weed.
buy hair.
Yeah.
and because, prom's coming up and, you got to get like a nice long hair situation.
I never know what a weave is. I'm always
Really?
confused
Really?
by it.
Oh, there's
I hear the term weave, but I never.
can't spot a weave.
I ask people all the time, are they wearing a weave? Or how did Demi Moore get her hair so long?
Is the weave the same as extensions, or is that different?
Save. I mean, weave is like when you braid it and then they like sew it in.
They sew it into your hair
Couldn't sit
that
there.
exists.
I couldn't sit there that long.
Like
It's a long process.
one of the Big Brother girls,
Jessica.
just like Jessica wears a wig.
She does like clip-ins, I think.
I would never
Yeah.
know that.
And then the other, like Raven, I just saw like I turned on the feeds the other day and she had hair down to her butt, and I was like, "What's that?" I'm like,
Every
She
just
season,
added.
if you tune in before the Thursday eviction, the entire day is just them doing hair and makeup for the live show.
Thank you. Look at the guys. So that's where. So you was the weave, right?
So I went to the store. My dad was like, "I'm not buying this. This is embarrassing." And I was like, "All right, fine. When I get my first paycheck, because the hair is very expensive, especially
Yes.
for like good real hair, it was like $300."
"You mean Indian hair?"
And yeah, the Remy.
And that was my first job was working in a store like that, in a hair store. And my first big purchase was a Carvel ice cream. Weird. Weird. Do you remember your
That was
first
so
big purchase,
Bunchy
Gail?
the Whale. Yeah, I can remember my first big purchase from money that I had earned. Like for small ones, I think like a pack of cigarettes or something. But my first big one was buying tickets to the Warped Tour. That was my
That's a good
first
one.
big one. And it was like something, and it was one of those things where before I had a job, like I could always ask you for tickets to a show. It was definitely like I never would have been
You
like,
still
oh, I
could.
can't.
You still could ask me.
But
I'll
I was
get you
like,
tickets.
I'll buy my own tickets to the Warped
Yeah.
Tour. Like it was like a thing of pride
This is
for
my
me.
own peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's the best one I ever.
The best one I've ever tasted.
I'm trying to think. I got a toss up between two. I either bought a suit and spent all the money, or an Atari game and spent all the money. But either way, it would have been a 1-2 purchase. But I know this about myself. When I was younger, I would get paid on Fridays, and by Saturday I had to borrow money. I went through every dime I had, and I'd throw fucking cash around. And my father said that I was like a brickyard minority on payday.
Not good.
No, you don't want to be called that or have other people hear him call you that. But he would be so mad when I would borrow money back from my mom.
You have a job.
And my mom would immediately make me start paying rent. Too. The second I start working, I had to pay room and board.
By the way, that just made me think. I, not too long ago, rewatched the movie Friday. And when I was younger and watched it, I never really noticed this thing, that he lost his job yesterday and he has no money today.
Right.
Like, the whole thing is like, you need to get a job. Like, I'm not going to give you that money. You got to get a job. And I'm just like, he had a job yesterday.
Yeah, he still has a paycheck come in his way. And now when Smokey says to him, you get fired on your day off.
How you get fired on your day off? But the best thing is, like, the whole movie is like $200 or something.
Yeah,
which,
it's not a lot
like,
of money.
When I was a kid, was like, how the hell are they gonna get this money? And then I was like, as an adult watching it, like, this shit's over $200.
Well, his father was a dog catcher. He put a foot up a dog's ass. That's his pleasure.
Give me all the fries you can give me.
All right, Chris Stanley, do you know your first big purchase?
I remember it vividly. I went out and bought a used PlayStation 2 and a used copy of Grand Theft Auto 3.
Wow.
It was months and months after it had come out. I was like, I've been playing at other people's houses. Like, I got to get me some of this fucking Grand Theft Auto 3.
Well, did you say I got to get me some of it?
I got to get me some of that shit. And I was
Were
so
you loving
happy.
it?
I fucking loved it. I was so happy playing this dumb fucking game. Blowing shit up.
Dude, there's nothing like that when you're a kid and you get a new video game and you're like, this is my life now. Like, you're just so psyched.
Dude, I'm so excited that the new Madden's coming out. I don't even know what it is or why I want it. It's my only video game purchase. Like, it's going to be different. I got to fucking relearn how to play it, you know? I think you're supposed to run a lot more. You know, I just can't throw the bomb every day. I'd veto. I'm going to guess that you paid for an abortion.
No.
That would have been great.
Smart person.
Very smart.
Before, like, everybody was vaping heavy, the only way you could get a vaporizer was this thing called a volcano vaporizer. It was like $600, and it filled a bag up with smoke. And you smoked out of the bag, and like the benefit was that you couldn't smell it. So I could smoke in my room, and my mom would have no idea, the neighbors wouldn't know. So I bought this $600 gigantic weed smoking contraption, and I would just get really fucking high. And I don't even smoke anymore, so just sitting in my apartment. But that was my first big purchase, was a volcano.
$600?
$600, and like
I'd rather she smelled the smoke.
No, I wanted.
My neighbor smokes a fucking ton of skunk weed.
Oh, I know.
And I love it.
I just really think last time I was over at his house, I come back from outside and I open the door and the whole hallway smells like weed. And my brother's standing there and he goes, dude, you just want to smoke weed? I was like, no, like, I'm not a little kid. I'm not like, I gotta go take a walk. I'm like an adult.
She can light up in the fucking house.
He's like,
Even
dude,
when she was a kid.
he's like, dude, did you just go to smoke weed? Fucking weirdo.
That's so funny. But that I like that guy because he makes the fucking place feel better to me. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, some shit goes down here. We smoke a lot of weed.
Do any of your other neighbors complain about it?
Yeah, the super came around asking where they think the weed was, and I pointed to an apartment that somebody who was on the air at Fox. I call her I don't know her name. I call her the old Fox lady, and she also gets mad about cigarettes. She got a guy in trouble who smoked cigarettes beneath her, and then complained about the coffee shop outside of her window. People smoking.
Come on.
You live in fucking New
Grow
York
up.
City, bitch.
You're allowed to smoke in your, like, it's funny, people who aren't from the city, like, they all go downstairs to smoke. So I had a friend come over to my apartment, and he was like, oh, I'm going to go and have a cigarette. I was like, dude, you can fucking smoke in my kitchen. Like, every one of my relatives, I grew up, them just pounding.
Yeah, but that's not the same anymore.
I didn't know that until recently. My friends were like, their mind was blown that they could smoke a cigarette in my kitchen. Like, it was like they were
but
living the high life.
Chris got fucking. Do you leave now, or are you just back to smoking in your apartment?
I'm back to smoking in my apartment, but I went through maybe 2 years of a woman just fucking busting my balls about smoking cigarettes in the apartment, and she called the city, and the city put on a some sort of talk about the effects of third-hand smoke?
Come on.
Third-hand smoke is smoke that damages property. Like the walls get fucking...
You're legally
It's a
allowed to
real
smoke,
term.
right?
I'm allowed to smoke. I'm
Smart.
Smork.
I'm allowed to smart.
I'm grandfather then. They can't do anything to me.
Like grandfather did.
My grandfather wanted me to smoke and here I want.
Do new apartments make you like? Are they like non-smoking apartments?
they can.
Some are, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so fucking
And some,
weird.
Sick.
I know.
and some buildings just decide to go, we're going smoke-free. No one smokes in this building.
It's just so weird. Just growing up, seeing every single person I knew smoke a cigarette.
My building used to have a thing that said no smoking in the elevator, and then they changed it to the lobby, but they don't want anybody smoking in any of the apartments.
Wow,
That's stupid.
It's so dumb.
it's your house. It's your home.
I live here.
It's your house. This is my work. Why can't I smoke here? Everybody used to smoke at work. I used to smoke on the air. I used to smoke cigars on the fucking air.
Could you imagine? Like you guys would just be smoking right now.
Yes, every day.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Bam, 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 have a cigar. Go ahead and street jokes coming up next. Plenty of those street jokes. Street jokes is next. And then next week, perfect song. Chris Gethard, Tom Sharpling, Sam Morrell, Joe Mackey, Bridget Everett, Dan from the Dan Band. What was his big song?
His big song was "Total Eclipse of the Heart," right?
Yeah.
'Cause that was his.
That was from old school.
And sing it the way he sang it, Chris.
The fucking total eclipse of the heart.
You gotta put it in a couple, and then they were
I
singing.
fucking need you now
Oh,
tonight. I fucking need you more than ever.
He did do that thing with the hands too. I was like, what?
What if he couldn't possibly?
No.
No.
And Mateo Lane and Lisa Traeger all next week. Plus your chance to win some cool prizes.
Signed by Aerosmith, Pixies, Rufus Wainwright, and the Spin Doctors.
That's very cool. Big prizes.
Enjoy Street Jokes, Bennington.
From the Stand Comedy Club in New York City, The Bennington Show and TheInterrobang.com present Street Jokes. Here are your hosts, Ron and Gail Bennington.
Welcome to Street Jokes. How you guys doing tonight? We are at the famous Stand Comedy Club in New York City, and we're doing Street Jokes, but we're tweaking it a little bit tonight, Gail.
Yes. Trying out a little something different. The idea of if the material is there,
Right.
can a comedian perform this better than someone who is a non-stand-up?
Just a non-stand-up, just a lunch bucket Joe, a strap hanger, a real ham and egger. That's the thought on this. Now, what we're going to do is you guys will then, each team will do 2 jokes, and it will be up to the audience, by the audience applause, to see who wins that round. So, by the way, I'm Ron Bennington. Thank you very much. This is Gail Bennington. And I am Ron Bennington. So, you know, even though I got 2 things, you still was bigger than me. All right, so we'll each do a street joke, and then we'll let you guys judge. So you
Perfect.
can have like a run through of this. You want to go first or second?
Yes, I will be playing the part of the non-stand-up.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Great. So a woman walks into a gynecologist office. She goes in for her appointment. She gets up. She puts her feet in the stirrups. Doctor comes in. He spreads her legs open. He goes, "Oh my God, that is the biggest vagina I have ever seen. Biggest vagina I have ever seen. Biggest vagina I have ever seen." She goes, "Oh my God, that is so rude. It's incredibly unprofessional. And did you have to emphasize it so much?" He says, "I'm sorry, You're right. It was unprofessional. I have no excuse, but I will say in my defense, I only said it once.
Nice.
That's one of those that's a Mark Norman laugh.
It's a big vagina. I'm a little pissed because I think it's a better joke than mine. All right, I'll just do this. Wife says to her husband, "You're going to have to get your hair cut. Take our 7-year-old with you." And he goes, "Well, I'm not going to the beauty parlor." And she goes, "She's 7. Just take her to the barbershop." So she goes to the barbershop. She's having fun with all the guys. They're getting their hair cut. She's having a little snack. She's eating a Twinkie at the time. And the barber's cutting her hair, and he looks down and he goes, "Oh, honey, you got hair on your Twinkie." And she goes, "I think I'm getting tits, too." Oh.
Applause break, too.
Yeah.
Laughter into applause.
That's good. Yeah, after no one went. All right, let's bring out your comedians first, ladies and gentlemen. These are professional comedians, but I will tell you this: they don't do street jokes in their act.
No,
of course.
This is not typical for them. All right, so first up, his book, American Etiquette, Failing Upwardly in a Fox News Nation, is available now. He's the co-host of In Hot Water on Compound Media. It's Aaron Berg!
Aaron Berg is here, folks!
Thank you, Gail.
You're right there. Now, Aaron, you don't normally do street jokes. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So this could be, you could be the next Jackie the Joke Man after tonight.
I hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, it's just, they were like, oh.
Yeah.
Next comedian.
Yeah. This right side doesn't seem as into it as the left side. They seem like they laugh ecstatically about it. And these guys they seem really frightened by it. I'm frightened to do this, Ron. I'm very nervous.
That's why I'm proud of you for being here tonight.
Thanks
really.
for having me.
Let's bring up our next comedian.
The next comedian, his comedy special, Funny as Hell, is available now. He's performed on The Tonight Show and The Late Show with David Letterman. You've seen him on Nurse Jackie, Rescue Me, Top Gear. I adore him. Bring him out. It's Adam Ferrara.
Adam, everybody. This is going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah.
Solid team.
This is great. You kidding me? I told one joke on the radio last time I was in, and now I got to do this shit.
Here's the other thing. Adam lives in L.A.
Yeah.
So this is a long fucking haul to tell a joke.
Yep, and thank God you paid travel. I wouldn't fucking be here.
Yeah, it is travel, but it's bus. All right, now, here's what we're going to do. The next two contestants for the show, they are not comedians, but they are, in fact, broadcasters. Let's bring out the first one.
You've seen him on the WWE Network, and he is the co-host of the Jim and Sam Show. Give it up for Sam Roberts!
Yes, Sam! Good to see you, buddy. Now, do you ever tell jokes anywhere?
No.
That was fucking mean, by the way.
No, I'm in the room as jokes are told, but I'm more of a traffic cop.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you mornings now, right? On what's the name of your channel?
It's Faction Talk.
Faction Talk, everybody, yeah.
Yeah, we talk factions, groups of all kinds.
Yeah. Now, I was so fucking happy when I heard somebody from the Jim and Sam Show was coming here tonight. I'm like, this is going to be a really funny show.
Thanks, man.
I got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it was more like 90-10. I mean, I know it was a long shot. It's still worth it. Did anybody come with you from your show tonight?
Just me.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. All right. Well, this will lighten us up a little bit. But are you a joke teller at all? Do you ever tell any jokes?
Tonight I will.
No, I mean, are you, like on the street? Did you? Because you're younger and you guys didn't grow up with regular on the street jokes.
No, we didn't. I mean, my dad was a joke guy.
Oh, there you go.
He was one of those, one-liner dad jokes.
Yeah. Now, do you have any that he told?
I do, and I'll pull one out if I get into a tough spot.
Well, that's what he did with your mom. Now, I don't think that was out of line at all.
He said he pulled out.
I'm just saying this. The comedians are looking at stuff on their phones. What is this, dirtyjokes.com?
I just had to delete. That's what she did with her mom. 'Cause you just fucking used it, so that's gone.
All right, the next contestant on the show.
The next contestant, formerly of the Opie and Anthony show, but now is the co-host of the brand new AA show. It's Anthony Cumia!
Anthony Cumia, folks! Anthony Cumia is here. Yeah!
This is fantastic. Whoa. Let me put this down. I'm just trying to grow accustomed to taking Artie Lang's defibrillator everywhere I go now. Like the president with the bomb codes. You never know.
So you and Artie Lang doing a show together.
Yes. I think we could support each other, and that makes things better.
It's beautiful.
Could you believe that Anthony's doing a show where we worry about him less? So this is such a fucking great idea because it's a terrible idea.
Right. Yeah, we're going to share a lot of stories together. Like we shared a rehab down there in
Did you
Florida.
guys go to the same rehab?
At a different time, though. You know, like when celebrities talk about Hollywood High.
Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated a little later than Artie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now, also, you grew up with...
Adam Ferrara. I spent much time. We worked for a living back then. Remember that, Adam?
We were real people.
Yeah, back in the apartment in Green Lawn, Long Island.
Yes. Oh,
where we would
dropping.
drink beers and not pay rent.
And hide from the landlord.
Hide from the landlord, yeah, because we were too busy buying slot cars and helicopters to pay the rent. Yep. Nice that nothing's changed.
Yeah. Good to see the cool kids all hung out together. Now, here's the amazing thing. You guys both came from those humble beginnings. And
Yes.
Now we're in a fucking basement.
Well, but you look at Adam. He's a great stand-up comedian, a headliner all over the country, TV star, movie star. And you...
Yes.
Really well known on Page 6.
True.
I will tell you this, being his pal is scary because you'll open the paper, you'll see his picture, like, oh, fuck, what'd he do now?
You're just hoping he doesn't bring you up your name. Dude, that last thing that you did, though, when you were on the news, like you came out of lockup and all the cameras were there.
Yeah, that's somewhere you never want to be there, Ronnie. When you're leaving and they got the camera in your face. You don't want to do the cover-up, but you don't want to stare him right in the face either. It's almost like when Michael Corleone left the hit.
Yeah.
Don't look anyone in the eyes, but don't look away neither. That's kind of what I did.
Just like doing runway. You don't look down, but you need a purpose in your walk. That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
Tits up, legs, spike, turn, get in the car.
This is the thing. Italians act this way on purpose.
Yeah.
We do. This is it.
All right, are we ready to get this started tonight? You guys ready? Now, I'm just going to check before we get going. How many people think the comedians have this in the bag? The comedians are going to win this tonight? By applause.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh. Yeah. And how many think the broadcasters are going to pull this out?
Wow. All right. Not too much pressure there.
That's all right.
Wow.
There's Ann also reading some jokes on his phone.
Yeah. No. I'm just reading the joke name, not the joke itself.
Right.
See, you got to make these your own, Ronnie.
Oh.
Let me teach you a little.
That's the scariest shit I ever heard. All right. So let's have the comedian start this up. Aaron, you come up and do 2 jokes. Aaron Berg, everybody.
Ron and Gail, everybody, come on. How nerve-wracking is this? Very exciting. All right, street jokes. Street jokes. I spend a lot of time on the streets. A priest calls the emergency room and he says, "Send somebody quick. One of the altar boys just swallowed a condom." Calls back 5 minutes later, goes, "Don't worry, I found another one." Yeah, we're off and running, Ronnie. We're off and running. All right. A man escapes from prison. Goes to this cabin in the woods, and there's a couple there. Comes in, ties the husband up on a chair, ties the wife up on the bed, has a gun, holds her at gunpoint, takes her clothes off, leans in. The husband is in the chair watching as this man mounts his wife and leans in and looks like he kisses her neck, and he gets up and walks to the bathroom. And the husband whispers across the room, and he goes, "Honey, that guy is an escaped prisoner. He is probably gonna kill us both if you don't do what he says. I saw him kiss you. Just let him have his way with you and pretend you enjoy it and we'll be okay." And she goes, "He didn't kiss me. He leaned in and whispered in my ear, 'I'm gay. I'm gonna fuck your husband. Where's the Vaseline?' I told him it's in the bathroom. Do what you gotta do."
Pretty good.
Oh, we're starting at a high water mark here, Aaron. You got 2 to now. All right, Adam, you ready to do this, buddy?
I am.
Come on up. Adam Ferrer, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the joke that got me into this, which is the one you liked. You know why Hitler didn't drink? Mean drunk.
Hey, Ant, even if you like the joke, no Nazi salutes.
After the show, though, I'm selling tiki torches out front.
Okay, a guy named Joe goes to see his friend Mike. Mike's not home. Mike's wife is there. And Joe says, "Listen, I know it's just me and you here. I will give you $50 if you let me see your left boob." She's like, "You know what? We could use the money. No one's here. Nobody gets hurt." She shows him the left one. He's like, "Oh, beautiful. I'll tell you what. I have this thing about symmetry. I will give you another $50 if I could see the right boob." She's like, "In for a penny, in for a pound. Why not?" Shows him the right boob. He's like, "Oh, beautiful. Here's another 50. He goes, "You know what? I need the whole picture. I'm very visual that way. I will give you $100 if you just flash me." She's like, "Here we go." Flashes him, $200. Don't tell. Great. I'll go home. Mike comes home and goes, "Was my friend Joe here?" He goes, "Yeah." "Did he leave you the $200 he fucking owes me?"
He's a headliner, folks. Wow. Adam.
Good. Very funny.
You guys, very funny. You're a funny guy.
Why do you say it like a threat? Very funny. Very fucking funny.
It's funny stuff.
All right, Sam. Now, you guys, the comics just came out and set the fucking table here. Let's admit that.
Man.
You know, this is going to be a tough one. And, Sam, we're going to need you to pull the broadcasters back in here to it. Come on, everybody. Sam Roberts.
I feel like there should be Ant doing 4 jokes and me just kind of laughing.
No.
All right, was that the first joke?
Oh, shit.
If I get credit. So this couple, it's an 80-year-old man and an 80-year-old woman, decide that they want to finally have kids. And And so they go to the doctor, and the doctor's confused by the whole thing, but they go, okay, the doctor says, okay, here's a bottle, go home, in 2 weeks come back and bring me a sperm sample. So they bring the bottle home, they come back in 2 weeks, but the bottle's empty. And the doctor says, what happened? And the old man says, well, I tried my right hand, I tried my left hand, she tried her right hand, she tried her left hand, we tried with her teeth in her mouth, we tried with her teeth out of her mouth, and we couldn't get the bottle open.
I did not see that coming. Strong joke.
Okay.
Good job.
All right.
Now you follow it with another joke.
So a guy walks into a bar, and he goes up to the counter and he says, "Give me a beer." And the guy goes, "Okay, that's $1." And he goes, "Really, $1?" He goes, "Yeah, $1." He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna get some food too." The guy goes, "Okay. What do you want?" He goes, "I want a steak and a baked potato." And the guy goes, "Okay, $2." And the guy goes, $2? Really? The guy goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, here's the $3." And he goes, "Where's the owner of this place?" And the bartender goes, "He's upstairs with my wife." And the guy goes, "Well, what's he doing up there?" And the bartender says, "The same thing I'm doing with his business."
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Awesome.
That was a nice joke, Sam.
Very good.
It would have worked better if we all still weren't allowed to say fuck. That's the. But before you could curse, yeah, it was
I'm
fucking great.
I'm trying to get some corporate gigs out of this.
You put this on your reel? And you remember when you used to work for a corporation, right?
Oh, yeah. Always worked out well.
All right. On deck now, Anthony Cumia.
Oh, baby. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, here we go. Christmas Day. This kid gets a train set. Now he's playing with the trains, and his mom's listening to him from the kitchen. And he goes, "Attention, everybody! Get your fucking bags on the train. Bunch of assholes. This train's leaving on time. If you're not on it, you're shit out of luck." And the mother's like, "Holy gee, hey, Johnny, you can't talk like that. We don't use that language in the house. Go to your room for 2 hours and don't come out." So he does that. He finally, 2 hours later, comes out, playing with his trains again. And the mom's listening. And the kid goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Put your bags under the seats. Please enjoy our ride on the train down to Washington, D.C." So the mother smiles, and she's like, that's a lot more like it. And she hears the kid go, "And for those of you complaining about the 2-hour delay, blame the cunt in the kitchen."
That's very strong, Ant. Very strong.
There's this
he doesn't care about corporate work.
Never did, Adam. Yeah. Never did.
That's the fucking truest thing you've ever said.
I know. This one takes my hand, so I gotta put my drink down, catch a photo. This guy's like Bigfoot. This guy goes to see a woman having some sex, and she goes, "Hey, put a finger in me." So he starts fingering her, and she goes, "Oh, more. Put 2, 3 fingers in me." And the guy's like, "All right, whatever you want." 5 fingers she's asking for now, and he's freaking out. She goes, "Put your whole fist in me." So he slides his hand right in her vagina. I want to be clean and technical here. So then she goes, "Take the other hand. Put that in too." So he's like, "What the fuck is this?" But he does it. Now he's got both hands in her pussy. And she goes, "Now clap." He goes, "I can't." She goes, "Tight, huh?"
Anthony Cumia.
Yeah.
What a first round. Come on, let's hear it for these guys.
Oh, my goodness. Crazy.
Wow, this one's going to be tough. All right, by audience applause. And Chris Stanley, are you back there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yes, there he is. Let him hear it. He'll be the applause meter. Who thought the comedians had the best first round by applause?
There you go.
And what about the broadcasters? Chris Stanley.
Round one goes to the broadcast.
The soft bigotry of low expectations.
That was amazing because these guys fucking hit it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys came back. I like the fact that after telling us that you went to rehab, you're working with a highball in your hand.
It's a prop, Ronnie.
Yeah. You and Kieran.
By the way, can I have another prop?
No, he starts in September.
Wow.
Thought we were doing jokes here tonight. You thought I meant that? All right, now for round two. All right, round one was worth how many points, Chris?
10 points.
Okay. Oh, wait, he stole my cheaters. I had to land out on my cheaters earlier.
Yeah. I gave
just
him
was
back.
handed a note here.
You could see Jersey in those fucking things, man.
Yeah, it's getting there. We have somebody who wants to pop in here and tell a joke for us right now.
Oh!
A world-famous comedian who not only has one Netflix special that came out this year, 2 Netflix. Introduce him.
It's Ari Shaffir!
Oh, yeah, there he is. There he is.
Oh, thanks, you guys. Thanks a lot. I don't know what's going on. I saw something happen this week, and I just wanted to share it with you. It was pretty crazy. I was on a plane, and there were 3 people on the plane with me. It was a black guy, a black guy, a Mexican, and a white nationalist. Were all on the plane with me, and I was already like, "Wow, that's fucking crazy." And I was just sitting back and observing them. Suddenly, over the loudspeaker, the pilot says, "It's too heavy. The plane is too heavy. We have to throw stuff out or we'll crash." Yeah. It's tough times.
You could have said hi to me, Ari.
I got it right now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, on the plane, yeah.
It's a slow roll.
Yeah. So the black guy takes his Air Jordans off and throws them out and says, "We have too many of these in my country. We don't need them." And the Mexican throws his lawnmower. He was transporting a lawnmower. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of overhead space they had in this plane. And he threw it out and said, "We don't need this. We have too many of these in my country." And the white nationalist took the Mexican and he threw him out the window. Because we have too many of these in my country. We don't need them. Anyway.
Ari Shaffir, everybody!
Awesome. Awesome.
It's unusual.
I love
it. To interrupt street jokes with a true story. And it'd be better off if you didn't yell out, "I love it," after
True stories just get me like.
All right, so right now, 10 points to 0. The broadcasters, the underdogs are winning this.
Oh, yeah.
Round 2 was worth 15 points, and we'll start it with the broadcasters. Sam, and it's up to you, whoever wants to go up first.
Yeah, we might as well keep the old
keep the old thing. It's working for you
thing
there.
going. Why change now? You know me, I
Sam
like
Robertson.
consistency.
Thank you. So, a guy is on vacation, and he's at a nude beach, and he's tanning, and he wants a full body tan, so all he's wearing is a little cap on top of his penis. Yeah. And a woman walks by and flirtatiously looks at him and says, "You know, if you were a real gentleman, you'd tip your hat." And the guy looks at her and says, "If you were a real woman, the hat would tip itself."
Another true story? Is that true? Or
Yeah, it happened to my brother.
A little misogynistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of vacations, there was an accountant and a lawyer, and they were having Mai Tais. They were on vacation in Hawaii, just getting to know each other.
What about your ties or something?
I just heard from the judges that was a disqualification. From the last show. There they are, the judges.
Quarterback sneak. I was trying something a little against the rules.
Anthony Cormier, folks, one more time.
Thank you. There's a couple that have been dating a while, and the girl and guy, they figure it's time to get a little serious. So the girl tells the guy finally, hey, look, I got this one tit. It's the size of a 12-year-old girl's. So that might, upset you a little bit. And the guy goes, well, I got to tell you, I got an infant-sized dick. And they're like, this is perfect. We should get married because we have these physical afflictions, and we'd probably get along great together. So they do get married. And on the wedding night, the girl takes her top off, and the guy sees that little tit and the regular-sized tit, and it's all right. He doesn't freak out. But now it's time for him to reveal his affliction. And she puts her hand down his pants, and she goes, oh, my God, you said you had an infant-sized penis. He goes, yep, 8 pounds, 7 ounces, 19 inches long.
The swerve was it was a giant penis.
It was a huge infant-sized penis.
Sinus of a baby.
That's right. Oh, sure. Hey, just don't try to put them in babies. They split. I'm just doing Jim's act here.
That's the second disqualification of the night.
No. I demand a reprieve. Oh, doing Artie? Okay. The woman goes to a doctor. You never heard a joke start like that before. A woman goes to a doctor, and the doctor starts feeling her belly. And he goes, what do you know what I'm doing here? She goes, yeah, you're checking for some kind of abnormalities or what have you. He nods his head. He goes up to her tits and starts feeling those. He goes, you know what I'm doing right now? And she goes, yeah, you're checking me for breast cancer. She goes, okay, fine. And then he decides he takes her pants off, takes his pants down. He just sticks his dick right inside her. And he goes, you know what I'm doing right now? She goes, yeah, getting herpes. That's why I'm here.
Anthony Cormier, folks. All right.
Oh, my God.
Back to the comedians. It's up to you. Which guy wants to come up first?
Yeah, you're up already. Go.
Right. Aaron Berg, folks, one more time.
So fun. All right. I don't know if you heard today, in light of the recent news in Afghanistan, there's also an ongoing issue with Brazil. General Mattis pulled President Trump aside today, and he said 3 Brazilians have been killed. President got really sad for the first time since he's been in office, cried a little bit, and everybody looked at him. Finally, after a minute or two, he lifted his head and goes, how many is 3 Brazilian? Clean.
Come on, rip from the headlines, folks.
Yeah, right.
That's fucking current.
It all really happened.
Ripped from the...
All right. Those of you that don't know me, I was a comic back in Canada, and there were these 2... the politically correct term is midgets. 2 midget comics that we used to tour with. And there's a little gig in Banff, Alberta. These 2 midgets, they get hammered all the time. They would do shows together. One would feature, one would headline. So these 2 midgets pick up these 2 really hot girls, take them back to this shitty motel called the Blackfoot Inn. And they have rooms adjoining each other. So the one midget, he's really trying to get it up, but he drank a lot. And he listens to the other midget, the feature next door, just going 1, 2, 3, huh? 1, 2, 3, huh? And he can't get it up because he hears his buddy fucking like crazy, and the girl's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "My friend's fucking like 1, 2, 3, huh?" So he finally just goes to sleep, falls asleep inside of her, and then the next morning, the two midgets meet for breakfast, and he goes, "How was your night?" And he goes, "I couldn't get it up all night. I was listening to you fucking like crazy." He goes, "Me? I was trying to get on the bed all night."
Aaron Berg. This is strong. One more time. Adam, come on up here, buddy.
There's a man checking out at the supermarket, and there's a beautiful woman behind him. The guy's got a head of lettuce, a 6-pack of beer, and some toothpaste. And the beautiful woman leans in and said, "Well, you must live alone." And the guy says, "You can tell that by what I'm buying?" She goes, "No, you're fucking ugly." Okay. I got it. There's a man and a woman. They're making love in bed, and all of a sudden the woman's kid comes in. Goes, "Mommy, what are you doing?" She's horrified. She goes, "Get in the closet. Get in the closet. You didn't see anything." Kid gets in the closet, and then the kid starts going, "Mommy, it's dark in here. I'm afraid of the dark. It's dark in here." And then all of a sudden, the woman's husband comes home. The guy says, "Holy shit!" Grabs his clothes, jumps into the closet with the kid. The kid's looking up and goes, "Mister, it's really dark in here." "Kid, shut up. Just shut up. We got to get out of here." "No, it's really dark in here." Here's $5. Just knock it off. We got to get out of here." Husband goes downstairs. Everyone sneaks out. The mother grabs the kid later and says, "Listen, how many times do I tell you not to come into Mommy's room without knocking? You are a bad boy. You go to church. You tell the priest. You don't listen to your mommy." Kid gets in the confessional booth. He goes, "Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I didn't listen to my mommy. Father, it's really dark in here." And the priest says, "You're going to start that shit again."
Adam Ferrer, folks, come on. Using his acting abilities to bring that one home. All right, audience.
The joke man cometh.
Let's hear it for the comedians in this round. And of course, let's hear it for the broadcasters.
It's close.
And also take some points off for doing Jimmy's.
Oh, man.
Chris, who got that?
Round 2 goes to the comedian.
Yeah!
Wow, this is close.
It's 15-10. Now there's a 25-point round next. And by the way, Chris, did you just yell out of a megaphone? Round 2 goes to the comedian. Lancaster Cathedral. Lucky Lindy made it.
The Giants win the pennant.
Oh my God, the humanity! Wait, am I being told somebody else wants to stop up here?
Wow.
I can't see you, so you'd have to yell it.
No.
No!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Cosby.
He's busy right now. All right, so I was told we had somebody at first by a large man named Vito.
Oh!
But now I'm told, no, we don't, Vito?
No, not right now. No.
But Vito? Yes or no?
No.
All right, it's on to round 3 then, ladies and gentlemen. This one, God damn it, it's too close to call. Whoever wins this round will be the winner of Street Jokes and carry that shame with them the rest of their lives. Yeah, when you look at the individuals up here, right? Who surprised you?
I was surprised by Sam's dedication.
Yes.
But I've got to say, Adam's acting ability.
He's unbelievable.
Like, nobody delivers it.
Right.
The voices.
And I'll just say this. The fact that Ant hasn't gotten arrested tonight.
That's awesome.
Still young. The night is still young.
All right, for round 3, we're going back to our comedians. It's up to you guys who wants to be the first. Aaron Berg, everybody. Aaron Berg.
nerve-wracking. Burnt all the tried and true stuff. Now it's time to exploit the internet. A blind man walks into an all-ladies biker bar. And he goes, "Hey, any of you want to hear a blonde joke?" And the first lady goes, "Before you say that blonde joke, I'm the bartender. I'm a black belt in karate, and I'm blonde. That bouncer is 6'3". She's a weightlifter. She's blonde. That bar back is 5'2", but an expert at Muay Thai. The owner of this place, who's sitting right here, she knows Taekwondo, and that blonde lady over there, she has an AR-15. You still want to tell that joke?" He goes, "No, I don't want to explain it 5 times."
Great swerve! Great swerve!
Oh, jeez. All right. There's been no short ones. I feel like that was a Kaiser Sosa that just came out of nowhere. That page just says a man. Okay. A couple have been deserted on a desert island for about 3 years, and then finally on the third year, another man floats up, and they go, "Someone's here to join us." And right away, the wife and this new guy hit it off, and everybody knows they want to fuck. So the husband's like, "I can't let them fuck," but the new guy's like, "I got to think of a creative way to fuck." So they set up these watches based around the clock, 4-hour intervals. And at first, the new guy goes up top on this watch, and he's sitting there watching everything, and he sees the couple, the husband and wife, building a fire, and he yells down, he goes, "Hey, you two quit fucking down there." And they're like, "We're not fucking, we're building a fire." And he's like, "All right." The next watch, he goes up, and he's like, they're building a tent. "Hey, you two quit fucking down there." They're like, "We're building a tent, we're not fucking." And then they do another thing where they're trying to build a sailboat, and he looks down, and he goes, "Quit fucking down there." And then they go to switch watches, right? And then the husband goes up, and he looks down, and he goes, "Hey, from up here it does look like they're fucking." Thank you.
Nice job. Nice job. I think the people were just shocked because they wanted it to go longer.
I think the setup was a little overtly long, and it was supposed to be a 2-line joke.
All right, the comedians. He started with probably the biggest applause break of the night.
Yeah.
You did. And then we just went to Sam Roberts territory after that.
Not bad.
Why are we getting our fucking feelings hurt at a street joke show? Adam Farrar, one more time, guys. Let's hear it.
Adam.
Okay. There's a gay couple having they've been married for so long, and the spark is out of their relationship. So they decided, we're going to play a game. Let's play a game. Let's play a game and recapture our magic. Okay, we'll play hide and seek. And if you find me, I'll blow you. He goes, "Well, what if I don't find you?" "I'll be behind the couch." It's just so stupid. It's fun. It's so stupid. Thank you for laughing. I'm like, this is going to go down. And that was fucking stupid. Okay, I'm playing golf with Noah and Jesus. Go with me. Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, we had a plan in advance, but we got it all together. So I'm playing golf with Noah and Jesus. Noah tees off, right? And the animals come to his aid. He hits a skyline drive. This dove comes in, picks up the ball, flies it over, drops it onto the green. A snake comes out and pushes it right to the edge of the cup. This mosquito comes by, and its wings just gently whisk it into the cup. Jesus gets up, takes out the 1 wood. Big hitter, Jesus. Right? Big guy. The mitts on it. He was a carpenter. He's got the hands, right? Locks his wrist, tail down, follow through, boom! Hits it through the water trap. The seas part. You can hear Moses giggling like, "Hey, he fucking did that for me too," right? So, It hits the edge. It pops up in front of the green. The west wind comes by, blows it right into the cup. Another hole in one. I look at the both of them. I look at Noah. I look at Jesus. I go, you two gonna fuck around all day. We're gonna play golf.
That's great stuff. All right, the broadcasters, you're looking a little nervous, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm looking at my phone is what I'm looking. I think I got
take a few more moments because you never know who's going to stop by here.
Vito, anybody here? No! No!
This gentleman has had a very big special that came out this year. Start applauding right now because this is exciting. It's Mark Norman!
Oh, yeah. Hey, all right. Hey, all right. I'll be quick. Oh, shit. I think I might have just forgotten the joke. Hold on. Hang on. Oh, all right. Here we go. All right. What's the hardest part of the vegetable to eat? The wheelchair. All right. I feel like Jeffrey Gurian up here.
Mark Norman with a drive-by. A drive-by.
Oh, my God.
Was that yours, Sam? Were you really ready to do that joke? All right, it's up to you guys. You want to bring Sam up first? Or Ant's going to take...
At this point, I start getting a little nervous that someone's going to do one of my last jokes. So, fuck it. I'm up here. Yeah, well, of course, at the convent, the Mother Superior asked a couple of the nuns to paint the room, one of the rooms, but don't get any paint on your nun clothes. So, like I would know what the fuck they're called. Your penguin suit. So the nuns go in the room, they got the paint, and they decide, hey, it'll be a lot easier if we just take our clothes off, fold them up, leave them there, paint the room, and then we put them on, we get no paint on anything. So they start doing that, and then there's a knock on the door. And they're like, who is it? They're a little panicky. And then the guy goes, I'm the blind man. And they're like, oh, okay. So they open the door. It's like, it's safe. He's blind. He goes, hey, nice tits. Where do you want me to hang these blinds?
And
thank you.
You were seriously worried someone was going to steal that joke?
Yeah, that's true. Not with his corporate gigs. I don't think he would steal that one. All right, there's what happened?
When did it happen? Why wasn't I told?
Jerry Lewis. 10. That was the other one there. Oh, yeah. This guy goes into a diner, and a beautiful girl behind the counter, and he goes, he looks up the sign. It says, cheeseburger, $1.50, chicken sandwich, $2, hand job, $10. So he goes over to the counter, he leans, he calls the girl over, he goes, psst, hey, are you the girl that gives the hand jobs? She goes, yeah. He goes, wash your fucking hands and make me a cheeseburger.
Anthony Cumia.
The classic.
I'm telling you, this one is close. This one is close, but it comes down to what could be tonight's MVP, ladies and gentlemen. You know him as the man who's kept Jim Norton's radio career alive. Sam Roberts.
Stop me if you've heard this one. So a woman...
Stop.
A woman is driving on the highway for the first time, and her husband calls her on her cell phone in a panic. And he goes, baby, just be careful. I just heard on the news that somebody's driving the wrong way down a one-way lane. And she goes, somebody? There's hundreds of these assholes.
Good. If I can nail that. But the show isn't called Dad Jokes.
All right, well then I'll tell you about this same couple. Same couple, they obviously had a stressful day. She did survive. She got home. Everything was okay. The guy went off to work. She went to bed earlier. He gets in bed. He's all stressed out, but he's still, he wants to unwind. So he starts kind of caressing her arm, kissing her on the neck a little bit, and she rolls over to him and she goes, "Honey, not tonight. I have a gynecologist appointment in the morning, and I just want to be fresh." And so he rolls over. He's a little disappointed, and then he rolls over to her again and he whispers in her ear, "Do you have a dentist appointment too?"
Sam Roberts! He's killing it! Folks, I gotta tell you this. Believe it or not, I thought this was gonna go bad. But, let's hear it for everybody that was up here tonight. Now, Chris Stanley, I want you to pay attention to the audience because you are the applause-meter. All right?
Got it.
Okay, good. First, let's hear it for the comedians that were up here tonight. What a job they did. What a job. Professional comedians. Great job to both of you. Now let's hear from the broadcasters. This one might be too close. Chris?
Iceberg, right ahead.
Round 3 goes to the broadcast.
Nice.
Thought you were going to call it as a tie? And then we would each do a last joke? But the broadcasters, ladies and gentlemen. Broadcasters.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, this was shocking, and congratulations to both of you.
Quite shocking indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the comedians, unbelievable job, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron, we can also hear your show on the Compound Media Network, right?
Compoundmedia.com, indeed.
He knows which side his bread's buttered on.
It's very rare for someone to have their bread buttered on the bottom.
It's not so much butter, it's kind of parquet.
It's the grease that makes the machine go, man.
Exactly.
Adam, anything you'd like to plug tonight?
You can go to, who wants to go to Albany?
Albany, come on!
That's
Let's
right.
all go together.
I'll beat the Albany Funny Bone.
Yeah. And then you also do something online with
Tuesday nights, although we're doing it tomorrow night because I had to come here and see you guys. Come to my Facebook page, say hello. It's called Talk to Me Tuesday. It's my wife holding up a camera going, "Don't say that, we're live, you asshole."
All right, there we go. Really, really funny stuff. Sam Roberts, of course. You not only doing the Jim and Sam show, but what do you got next coming up wrestling-wise?
Well, Sam Roberts' wrestling podcast is available every Thursday where podcasts are available.
Now, this is something... So you talk about wrestling?
It's very, very successful run.
Right. Now, do you do any show for adults? Anything that...
It's a global brand, you know.
Okay, I see. And, of course, Anthony Cumia, my friend.
Oh, my God. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Of course, all the fine programming at compoundmedia.com. And my show, which changes to the Artie and Anthony show on September 5th. So tune in for that. Thank you.
Best of luck to you. Thanks so much for coming out. The street jokes, everybody. Well,
it's time once again for Street Jokes on Bennington.
A rabbi, priest, and minister walk into a bar. They say, "Is this some kind of joke?" The premise goes too far. All the funny dudes in the neighborhood some jokes from World War II. I tell them like any young men do. He was a joker and I am too. Oh, street jokes rock. Yeah, street jokes rock. So find a joke, tell a joke, leave us wanting more. Street jokes rock. 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 Street jokes rock.
Take my wife, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!